Hey everyone.
的
Ja.
how?
Ah, we got it. That was pretty good.
That was cute.
That was completely unscripted.
Yeah.
You've asked for it so many times. So many times.
So many people who have been asking for us to do a video like this.
On. And I really don't want to do a video like this because I don't like this whole racial identity thing.
It's a little strange just because it's like you don't want to go seek out this kind of person,
Yes.
but I don't know.
But a lot of
People are just curious.
you've asked for it, and we today are going to answer the age-old question: how do Asian guys get foreign girls?
Woo! That's me.
Let's get into it. Before we even talk about any of our recommendations and stuff like that,
Yes.
first we have scientifically designed.
A chart. All right.
So the premise is that you're Asian and that you're a guy, okay?
And you really
You're really wanting a foreign girlfriend.
you're just like I gotta get that flavor.
Yeah,
gotta taste that.
I know you're thinking it's white girlfriend, but you know, to
be-
each of their own. Everyone, I'm not gonna racialize that. Okay, I'm not gonna put a racial identity on that because that's extremely weird.
I guess it's
Yeah.
a little too much.
Yeah.
It's basically yellow fever reversed.
Yes, absolutely. Don't do that.
Yep.
So let's start with the first question. Boom. Do you live in Asia?
Asia.
And if you answer yes,
Go straight to down here. Which
Weeaboo.
is final answer, weeaboo.
which is you gotta find a weeaboo. And this
Explain
is
why.
Yeah, and this is what we first need to explain what weeaboo is, okay? Weeaboo is someone who lives in the Western world who are obsessed with Asian culture. They usually value the culture and the customs of the Asian country in which they reside
Yep.
over that of their own
their own.
country.
Exactly.
God, my grammar is excellent. And the reason that if you live in Asia that you have to go for weeaboo is because, and this is a vast generalization, I agree with that, but most of the girls who leave their own country to go live or work in an Asian country, whether it's China, Japan, Korea, they
Those are the only three we're gonna talk about today.
oh wow, sorry if you're in some sort of
Woo!
other countries in Asia, I'm sorry to offend you,
Got a
but I'm
little
sure there are
offended
weeaboos
there.
in your country too.
Oh yeah. They're usually more open to Asian culture already, and they will value you.
And they are more open to Asian guys.
Yes, they
Yeah.
will value you for just basically being an Asian guy.
Yep, but we'll talk about the downfall of that later. Moving forward, do you live in Asia? No. Are you an ABC? If you're of Asian descent and are born and raised in, and by A, we mean you could be in Europe, you could be anywhere, any
Yeah.
Western country, okay?
It also means you could show up a few years after.
Yeah,
you've been
maybe
born.
like-
it's not
maybe
like you
like-
were born in America.
You don't, and you
or...
don't even have to be born there. Like if you grew up there, you can be,
could be-
ABK, ABJ, ABV, AB. T. I don't know. If you answer yes, then here's the question for you. Out of the A and the B, A meaning the Western culture, and C meaning your heritage, your legacy Asian culture, which one do you identify with more? If you identify with the Chinese side, let's say if you're an ABC and you think of yourself as more on the Chinese side, boom, you need to find a weeaboo. Because at that point, you're pretty much just an Asian weeaboo as well, because you are born in America, okay? But you identify more with an Asian culture. That's
Right.
literally the definition of a weeaboo. So you need to find yourself a weeaboo as well, and you will be an excellent match. Now, let's go back. Are you an ABC? Yes.
Do you identify more with the American or
With-
Western culture?
Then you
Follow
go down.
here.
Are you good with girls? By that, I mean, regardless of race, have you had success dating girls in general?
Right.
If your answer is no, then unfortunately, my friend, you also should find a
You gotta find a
weeaboo.
weeaboo.
Because weeaboo typically have lower standards for Asian men.
They do, yes. It's basically whoever's Asian, just you're good.
But you need to pretty much live with the fact that you're being objectified and
Yes.
the only thing attractive about you is your race.
But she may have good.
But a win is a win, and
win
a
is a
girlfriend is a girlfriend.
That's true.
Okay, so let's move backwards. Are you ABC?
No.
You're someone like me, okay? Maybe you went to whatever foreign country to work or to study, okay? And so, no, you're not ABC. Now, here's the real question. Are you English?
English?
And by English, there's actually a lot more than just speaking that local language proficiently, okay? Do you feel like you've had a good grasp on the culture of the country that you currently live in? Do you watch their local TV shows? Do you understand their jokes? Have you had success in the hierarchy? Ah, gosh, I did not say that word correctly. Have you had success in the how do you say
Hierarchy.
hierarchy? Is that how you say it?
Alexa.
And if your answer to this English question is no, so maybe you don't really speak that language that well, and you don't really understand the culture to the point of a native, you
gotta travel all the way over here
back to Weeaboo. Nice,
Weeaboo is it's like a default for most of this answer.
For most Asian men. Now, let's go back to the ABC question, okay? And if you're ABC, yes, and you also identify more with the Western countryside of it, and you're good with girls, okay? At that point, since you have completely abandoned your Asian side, okay, you should just by default go with a normal girl,
a
normal girl in that country.
What consists of a normal girl?
Pretty much just someone who is a girl in that country and who is not a weeaboo.
Yeah, weeaboos are just like a subculture, so
Absolutely.
It's kind of obvious when someone is not a weeaboo.
Yes. Pretty much this English question is, have you achieved at a level where you're indistinguishable from someone who is local in that country?
Just basically, have you assimilated to that culture?
Absolutely. That's a very good word.
Yes.
And if you answer yes, and now you still have to face this question.
This is like
the final boss.
This is the final boss right here.
Yes.
Just this area. You have to be assimilated. Well, not have to be, but it's recommended you are assimilated to that culture.
And you're good with girls regardless of race. Then at this point, you have two options. You can either choose a weeaboo, or you can choose a normal girl.
You have the options of both.
But we say that in a very hypothetical sense because we all know that guys don't have the choice. It's the girls who choose you. Okay?
That
so
is a little true,
at that point, you are just as miserable as everyone else in the dating pool, where you have to fight for every single possible date that you can get. So this is when we want you to leave a comment, okay?
Discussing if we've done this correctly.
And if you are in Team Weeaboo or if you're in Team Normal. But if you're right now, if you're telling me, but Mike, I don't want a weeaboo. That sounds like a pretty grotesque way to get a foreign girl because I don't like girls who see me as a fetish and objectify me. Well, guess what, buddy? Millions of Asian girls do that every single freaking day. Okay? When you see an Asian girl and a white guy couple, do you know what's happening? Do you understand how many Asian girls need to deal with that every single freaking day?
Where white guys come up to them, see them as a fetish, and they're like, oh, I love sushi. Maybe we should go get sushi together. Yeah, that happens all the time. There are a lot more guy weeaboos than there are girl weeaboos. So weeaboos are precious. If you encounter a weeaboo, keep her, okay?
You really went off a tangent there. So you want to keep her close. And there is a chance that if you do find a weeaboo, you can, over time, convert her
back into a normal girl, which is kind of exactly what I did. Now, let's me go through this chart, okay?
Let's me go.
Let's me do this. Do you live in Asia? No. Am I ABC? No. Do I speak English properly? Yes. Have I completely assimilated? Also yes. Now, am I good with girls? Debatable, but I would go with the yes route. I get the option of both weeaboos and normal. And as I was seeking just regular normal girls, regardless of race, I encountered Guan, who is a mixture between weeaboo and normal. If you are one of these people, okay, who are pretty much a male weeaboo and you end up dating a normal girl, I'm telling you what, you're not gonna have a great time because guess
gonna
what?
be hard.
Normal girls don't eat chicken feet like Gwen does, okay? And
They don't even try.
they will be actually grossed out by your habits
Yep.
because they are all about Starbucks while you are all about boba. Imagine if a pure Chinese guy starts dating a pure American girl, it's just not gonna make sense. Imagine what language they can speak when they're in bed.
Oh.
It just doesn't make sense. What, you're gonna force a Chinese guy to speak English in a really weird way? It's gonna kill all the mood.
The vibe.
It's like, oh, ha, baby, do you like it when I do this? Yeah, I do this for you. I do. It's just not going to make sense, okay?
It doesn't sound good, guys.
It's
I'm
not
sorry.
gonna make sense. Can you in English? That would be the
That's
very
another one.
good
Yeah,
test.
let's get that. Can you? What should I put? Can you
XXX.
English? There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Perfect. If you can, go straight to normal.
Yeah.
They will love it.
Because that's the only way that you can please them.
They're impossible to please.
They are. They definitely are.
If you value your culture, but she doesn't value yours, that's not a relationship.
It's not
that's
a relationship.
Nothing. That's so sad.
So I think the ideal woman for most guys will be a mix
Somewhere
of
in between here.
Somewhere in between here, and that's where Gwen is. So
That's
I'm
me.
gonna draw that out
Draw
a little.
me.
So between here, you're gonna
This
find.
is the sweetest spot. This is the final product.
This
It's
is
for
the
everyone to screenshot if you need this.
Yeah.
Make this your wallpaper if you got to.
Yeah. At the end of the day, someone who is right there in the middle is gonna be ideal for any type of Asian guys.
yeah.
Okay. So just.
But they don't grow on trees. So
They
you
don't
gotta
grow
be
on
patient.
trees. They grow on Tinder. That's where I found her. And and on our next video, we're gonna tell you how to actually land them.
Oh. Am I a part of? Should I be a part of that video?
You should. You should. I think you bring a very good and feminine perspective
Okay,
into that because
okay.
otherwise I just sound like a pickup artist.
Yeah, you kind of
that,
are.
That's
Ooh, yeah, he would be.
Make sure you subscribe for our future videos, especially if this is something that you're interested in for some weird reason.
And if you guys want to hear what our first date was like,
And-
we can talk about that too.
That's gonna be our next one.
That'll be maybe this might be like a 3-part series of just like.
It might be. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you so much.
Now go find yourself a weeaboo.
Go find a weeaboo.
They're great.
They're alright.